This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. We're going to go through the New York Open in terms of, guys, today, looking at near flat open. We're going to have NVDA off a touch, Tesla to the upside just a touch. We'll go through Bitcoin. We'll go through some, I'd say some decorum in terms of maybe market participation. Just my thoughts on such. Let me know your own. Shout out to the VIP. I hope you are doing well. Just waiting about T minus 10, 20 seconds, guys. You'll see this orange box here is going to be the open for, say, NVIDIA that's on the chart. And you'll see just an immediate open to the downside with some value driven down to our green buy line, pushing potentially on the 5-minute down to our specific fire sale line. So NVIDIA out of the starting gate to the downside. As we had looked at, looking like the pickup occurred just below that. We would look at the 3-minute to see, 3-minute caught that specific fire sale line. Nice pick up on the open. Note the 3-minute was critical here today for NVIDIA. That's a 0.3, 0.4% move. So Fire Nice doing well this morning in terms of that shotgun open. Very nice to see. Let's look at Tesla really quickly. Tesla was to the upside, right? We had a little bit of a drift to the upside on Tesla, and it looks like Tesla is trying to continue out of a nice pattern to the upside. Let's take a look at this. Tesla has been impressing quite a bit. We have a breakout target for Tesla up and over, if you guys will recall from the back room yesterday, don't we? We have this breakout level. This, guys, look at this. In terms of 243 thereabout, looks like we are in for some hurdle action this morning. In terms of the preceding levels of potential, I'll say potential obstacles that we're running into will be that next higher level attributable from the lateral positions here to the left, okay? So this is going to be the open as it were to occur. You'll just see the hit right into this specific level is what? That is the hurdle level to the left. In terms of that, just understand anytime we're breaking out, that's going to be our specific, we just call it a hurdle. So this is going to be the level today. Let's backtrack a little bit after a bit of a volatile open here for Tesla. Great reminder, don't hit the buttons if you can't hit them quickly, if you aren't prepared. I'd say ahead of time yesterday, did you have shorts here? It'd be an excellent place to place shorts. We talked about those hurdles yesterday, and we talk about will remain on this today. The need to break out and sustain over the 243.12, right? Bit of a catchy move. We'll just say in terms of this, let me see this, guys. If you just started trading the open, congratulations either way, how you're looking at it. Let's look at this specific pattern that is still going to capture the bull's attention today. Nice move to the upside, and guys, a nice retraction. If you had orders short yesterday, you cleared about 1% roughly thereabouts. I'm just going to say congrats to anyone who had shorts at this level. All right, who had lateral shorts at this level on the 3 or 5 minute, knowing that's a hurdle area. And I'll just say the push today is going to be on Tesla to get up and out of a specific curvature and handle formation. So that's what the bulls are looking for, and we have a broader base. This is the exciting thing on Tesla. If it's been a bit tricky or catchy today, just understand that this higher level at the 246 is going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big deal, guys. We have some upside targets. Again, we're going to have a nice micro expression, but before things were to get a little bit more severe in terms of some larger percentage moves, okay? But you'll notice the hurdle level here at the 5-minute, specific 5-minute, that small hitch here, wherein resistance comes into play, could be a level where shorts are waiting. Of course, the higher level at the 257 is going to be a place where what? Where the shorts will be waiting. So we just saw this work out quite well on this underlying feature. And the one thing I wanted to talk about in addition to Bitcoin, just apply that micro. And again, why do we look at the open? To be able to reinforce into the macro, into the I'd say those longer duration moves, exactly what could play out, right? We just got a picture here in 20 seconds, 30 seconds in terms of what could play out, where orders are structured. It's like the market just wanted to wake us up and remind us, by the way, you're going to have a lot of shorts at this level here. Bam. We'll see if Tesla is genuine in that she wants to replicate from the micro to the macro. This is a much bigger move, right? We got some volatility this morning. That was something, of some flash trades, but this is a much bigger move. This would be looking at a 3-4% move, potentially even higher. Were these higher levels to engage? So we're going to pay attention to that. And what is the implication here as we were to look at this? As we were to expand out into the specific process, the dynamics for Tesla, pay attention to this. What's being questioned right now is on this level of a breakout. Pay attention. This is a good question to be presented through this specific opening today. Look at this. If we were to look at a very micro, you see how small this move was this morning? But if we were to expand this and say, okay, well, any preceding level of resistance is going to have orders parked at it. We may be prepared for a move back down into the specific level of consolidation on Tesla. How are the traders receiving this morning on this small micro move here? We'll take the signal, we'll take the need to digest the move from this morning in the context of we've got a highlight zone here. We've got another highlight zone here in terms of just the specific levels that would be implicated on the same level. I'd say the same thought rationale or application of tacticals as we were to look at, yes, now remember this is on a lower time frame, but the notion that we would break out and retest into this zone as we just did this morning, or the notion here, what becomes interesting and the question that's being asked today, do you have shorts at this level? Do you have shorts at this level? And the extent to which on an attempt, pay attention, we didn't really run into this on the preceding bull flag. So this morning Tesla's asking the traders, if we were to replicate this micro patterning situation here, and find ourselves in a breakout to the upside on the bull flag, that move to the upside, downward sloping channel, if we were to replicate and short into, okay, this preceding zone, just like what happened on the open, would you be prepared for, right? Would you be prepared for that interaction below? It's a great question, and it actually, guys, and what we would not want to happen is to get too far up above and thereafter to really start to integrate back below into the consolidation. We don't want to go formulating a different pattern, okay, in terms of, well, now it's like we have an inverse head and shoulders with another expectation of a retest at a neckline. No, guys, when we're looking at the specifics, we want to get up and out of the bull flag with momentum and bam, run it to the upside. That's what occurred here. That's what we caught. That's what we want to occur here. So a bit catchy this morning, but it presents a great, I just say tactical requirement for us to engage in the market and what we're going to ideally be looking for. So the percent here, the percent there in terms of the move this morning. Let's take that question presented. Let's take the notion that on the micro and a reminder that Tesla was just a bit catchy on a potential breakout. We saw the hurdle. We saw, guys, that rationale in play from that 5 minute to the macro. And again, why are we looking at equities? Because we get this picture, we get this synopsis, we get the whole story in like 5 minutes. Literally within like a minute, we have the story from the micro to the macro. Crypto makes us wait. You guys know that crypto does make us wait. So what traded again extremely well? We're just going to say Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice traded extremely well. We have to let the indicator speak for itself. It just did, right, on NVIDIA and on Tesla. But looking at that micro patterning structure and the implications for that larger framework of a pattern that we all want to participate in, this was just a great reminder and a segue into what I wanted to discuss this morning, which is levels of risk. Let's talk about it. I wanted to speak about this very quickly this morning, just as a friendly reminder, guys. A friendly reminder. Now, as we look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin just went through some serious news in terms of, guys, Binance. I won't get into the details. You guys know there have been some rumblings of some problems and issues. Things weren't really matching up as of late. It seemed like more so than normal, even without looking at the news. That was my take on Binance, and I had expressed that to VIP that something's not making sense. There's something there's something a little bit wrong in the background right now with Binance. That was my specific take on it, without really delving into the news. Wondering what's going on with their pricing, going on with some other things. It just didn't look right. So big news on Binance with the CEO being forced to step down, pay billions, ultimately the company to stay in business, and just a big stain on crypto. So as we look at this drop here from the 37.5, I want to encourage you the following. Please just pay attention. When you're looking at your investments overall, there are two ways to look at it. And guys, just print these pages out of the New York Institute of Finance, okay? We're gonna involve it with crypto and let's say Bitcoin and your altcoins. As you're looking at your participation, let's say that you've done very, very well along the way here. I wanna really capture this in with the entirety of crypto and how we look at crypto and our risk exposure. Let's say you've done just dramatically well in terms of the move to the upside. Let's say that you were to have printed, let's say you printed 500 large, bam, 500 large. Let's say you're normally used to trading up and around like 75K. Man, that is nice. That is so nice, man. You printed 500 large recently here. You're used to, like, swinging around, swinging across the guys that swinging across the market with about 75K. Man, you just printed 500 large. I'm going to recommend that you do one thing. Please listen. I'm going to recommend that you look at exactly what got you to the 500 large. I'm going to recommend that you scope out, you revisit the exact trades. Please pay attention. That you scope out exactly what you were doing with your exact trades to get you to the point where you're operating with 500 large, okay? And I'm going to challenge you the following. I'm going to challenge you that the majority of the traders, pay attention like something matters right now, please. The majority of the traders are going to do what? You know where I'm going. The majority of the traders are going to pin up the specific poster of the 500 large going to, guys, the moon of the 5 million strong. You better believe it. That 500,000 is going to 5 million in short order, isn't it, right? This is the way that traders work. This is the way that people who are floating around with 75K or got into the 500 large. Now, I'll change this, guys. I'll change this to no problem. You want to change it to 700K? You want to change it to $1 million into 10 million? It's going to be 50 million. It's going to be the same. You're going to step up this ladder the same. You can do this, guys. You can do this, and you can go talk to people. Once you go talk to people, get out of your own specific element. I don't care if that's 75K or no. You're used to floating around with about 1.2 million, okay? You're used to floating around with about 1.2 million, and instead of 1.2 million, man, you've crushed it. You're at like I'm gonna say you're at like 6.5 million right now. You got 6.5 million, and man, you are about to hit it up to the moon, aren't you? You are about to go from that 6.5. You've already got the receipts and paperwork that are gonna be generated once you get up to that 50 million. You've got the specific items that need to be purchased for your life to be right. You've got the specific jet ownership program. You've got the Lamborghini, Maserati, and the Ferrari that need to be parked in your 3-car garage and your lake house or your beach house. You already have that with the 6.5 million after you have danced around for a while with that 1.2. And yes, that 6.5 is heading to the 50. And really, I'm going to tell you the way you really start thinking, it's 50 here, it's 50 here, and it's 50 right here. This is where you're at right now. And I'll move all of this and I'll say, okay, great. We have the critical concern, and please pay attention like something matters. I mean, like something really matters right now. Listen up. As you look at, let's go back to the example of 75 and the 500, and it's about to go. Let's change this up. I have no problem, guys. You want to change this up to 3? Yeah, we're going to 3 million, right? We're going from $500,000 of growth from the 75 to 500,000 to the 3 million. You better believe it. It's on the map, right? That's the next stop. Now, when you start to do that, what do? I've got these lines up here for a reason, okay? I've got these lines up here for a reason, because when traders start to do that, they start to go in every different direction to make that 3 million happen. Now, I'm going to encourage you to do the following. When you're looking at this move from the 500 to the 3 million, or you're looking at the move from the 6.5 to the 50, okay? What you need to focus on, in my opinion, is going to be the following, based upon what I see, what makes traders hurt. Okay, what makes traders hurt is the focus from the 500 to the 3 million. Pay attention, okay? That 500 to the 3 million, and the notion that it's going to happen and needs to happen as soon as and quickly as you just got from the 75 to the 500. And next stop is the 3 million. What you are doing typically is you are raising your risk and exposure in the market. This becomes a difficult equation. This becomes something that I see cause pain to traders. Now, I'm going to ask you this morning the following. Please pay attention. I'm going to ask you what was wrong with the move from 75 to 500. I'm going to ask you to take the 3 million, all of the risk. And guys, well, how will you do this? What do you mean I'm multiplying my risk? I mean, you did really well on Bitcoin, right? And now that you've got the 500 and it's going to 3 million 8 ways from Sunday, pay attention to this like it means something, please. Now we've got positions and interest and our full-fledged, guys, if we were to look at all of our watch list, now we have got everything cooking to the upside. Don't you see? I mean, don't you see how this is going to work? We've got a position. I'm used to floating around with 75K. Let's say I'm used to floating around with, guys, if it's 1.2 million. This is going to be the same here. 1.2 million. It's the same example. Now, I'm going to tell you what I see and what I know from the market. You tell me what you know from the market, okay? If this is completely irrelevant to you, you tell me what you know from the market, from your years of experience of dealing with traders, okay, of being in the market and seeing pain at high levels. You tell me. It's painful when the 75 goes to 20. It's painful when the account goes away. You stack it up into 500, and man, you're ready for all this. All that 3 million. I'm going from 500K, my earnings, into 3 million. Oh yeah, baby, it's done. 1.2 million. Say you're a bigger trader, much bigger trader at 1.2 million. Man, I've already gone into 6.5 million. Man, I'm going 4 wide into 50. I'm going 4 wide into 50. I'm gonna build up 50 million. Again, guys, I got my boat. I got my 3 supercars. I got my lake house or beach house. I may even have a cottage in Vail. I may have a cottage, guys, right by the slope in Vail. All right? I'm even looking at another boat in the Mediterranean. Oh, this one will be stateside. I'm looking at another boat in the Mediterranean, Mr. 6.5. Okay? Now, what are you doing here? Well, you just grew from 75 to 500K, potentially, or 1.2 to 6.5, potentially on what? Potentially just on Bitcoin. Boom, 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 bam. True? Yeah. But now the 500 is going to roll up into the 3 mil 4 ways from Sunday. Not just on Bitcoin. It's going to roll up on Tesla. It's going to roll up on NVDA. It's going to roll up on AMD, the NASDAQ, Meta, S&P, Apple. It's going to roll up on Sol. It's going to roll up on Doge, on ETH, on SHIB, on Matic. Guys, it's going to roll up every direction that I look at. It's about to roll up like it just did from 75K to 500K. I just made it. That's my return I want. I got my 10X in the market. I got my 10X. Now, I just need to get my next 10X. Hey, I got my 10X in the market, 5X. Now I just need my 10X, whatever it may be. I am going to encourage you to look at not this equation, okay? I don't want you guys to look at this equation right now. Please. I want you to look at this equation. Whatever good amount of success that you just had from here to here. You say, yeah, but it took a long time. It took the whole year. Didn't it? It really did. But we caught this move, caught this move, caught this move, caught this move. Yeah, all right? And those moves can generate from 75 to 500. Can generate well. You know this. We hit these targets. We hit these targets. Not all Fibonacci, but we hit the targets, didn't we? Traded pre-breakout, bam, got some good acceleration moves. I'm going to try and get you to focus on this, on 75 to 500, okay? On how well you've done. Guys, if it's 7 grand to 50 grand, if it's 700 to 5,000, I don't care. If you've done well, what I don't want you to do is be overconsumed with this one. Now, bam, I just need to rock and roll up to 3 million. And I'm going 4 wide. I see so many people lose money Me personally, I see so many people lose money at this phase. And I'll tell you, if you can make it to this phase, don't even ask how bad it hurt here. Don't even ask how bad it hurt here. Don't even, guys, ask how bad it hurts once you cannot quit this game and to the downside, bam. Don't ask how bad that hurts, guys. Don't ask. Do not ask how bad that hurts. I'll give you some names. You can ask them. So the point is this. If your game, your trade game is becoming repeatedly, consistently profitable, yes. If you just knocked the living lights out and have knocked the living lights out here, what's wrong with this, guys? What is wrong with the 75 to the 500? What's wrong with this? You say, yeah, but that took a long time. Good. What's wrong with this? Well, I have another goal. I have another goal to make one more of these. That's my goal. I made this. I'm going to engage in discipline and consistency in the market. I'm going to look for my number one trades that have been good to me, that have produced the most amount of cash for me. I'm going to replicate those specific trades and focus on those specific assets. Okay? I want to line out my trade ops, the opportunities, and I want to really, really, really regenerate one more of these. Boom. You're not already out there with, I need to generate all of these. If you will focus on what got you here, please pay attention. If you will focus on what got you from here, bam, to here, which was what? Patience? Yeah, big time. Waiting for the next periodic move. Boom, we got a great move. We worked on this for 2 months, guys. For 2 months. So if you've got a good kick to, if it's 5,000, if it's 50,000, if it's 500 or 5 million or 50, whatever the kick is on Bitcoin, congrats. You earned that. We spent 2 months talking about over the 200 weekly moving average. True? Nobody else is gonna say that. We did it. Bam. So you've been rewarded for discipline and for consistency. And I don't want to see you multiply your risk up and through a market because everything's going to 3 million. From the 75 to the 50K to the 3 million. I'll tell you, there are some stories like that. And they're highly coveted stories. And I can tell you some stories. And they're very, very difficult to sustain in the probabilities of the march up. I'm going to say the probabilities of the 75 to the 500 to the 3 million to the 30 million to the 300 million to the 500 million. Guys, your probabilities as you start to, I'm going to say this at least, as you start to change the equation of what got you here, as you start to really go, I'm going 10 wide, baby. I'm going 10 wide in the market. Bam, load me up. Load me up. As I see this all the time. I see this all the time. The magic in the equation is right here to right here. It's not all up in the clouds. It's not all up in all these specific watch lists. It's not in all the opportunity and commanding hand that you have now in the market. The more that you appreciate that, the better that you will do. And I am reinforcing right now what just got you from here to here. And if you're not locked and loaded on what just got you from here to here, and you're not willing to be patient, and you're not focusing your exposure, I'm going to say focusing your exposure on the specific trade ops, those trade opportunities that are going to recreate, have the highest probability, you've just proven they work. You've just proven that these work. And now you're into, guys, it's a natural progression. The market makers are counting on it. They are. And they're also very good at taking that 500. And this is what hurts. And oops. You got it. They are very good at taking that 500 and whoops. Oops. Yeah. So I am just going to remind you of the fact The 90's gone too. How appropriate. Yeah? They are very good at this. Better, guys, they have more experience in doing this and eliminating all of this. Listen up, they have more experience at eliminating all of that and turning you back into this. They have compound multiples more experience than you do in doing this. Fact. They have so much more experience in changing this back into this, the 500 back into 90, then you have experience turning this 75K into 500K. They do this all the time. They are experts and professionals and have been doing it professionally for years. Years and years, decades, they've been doing this. So I am going to encourage you to focus on the next good trade op, that next good trade opportunity. What got you from here to here? Boom. What got you there? It wasn't all this and all of this. And hey, all of this and all this and all this, guys. Was it all of this? All right. No, it wasn't. It just wasn't. So focus on the magic in the equation here. Focus on it. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. I want you to think about the levels in which you may be exposing yourself to additional levels of risk that aren't in your equation. I'm going to remind you that the pros who handle the markets are experts at doing this and leaving you with this. And when that happens, you feel like you just got hit and run over by a train. I've seen it time and time and time and time and time and time again. If you will focus with discipline on what got you from here to here, if you will focus on recreating what got you from 75K to 500K, or from 1.2 million to 6 million, and you will focus on recreating that formula, guys, and you're content with this, you're happy with this. You're looking forward to the next round of you creating another one of these. How do you get there? Consistency and discipline. And I mean consistency. You're booking 4 trades consistently back to back. Not falling off the 100 rounds procedures, guys. Is this doomsday? It's all over? Not at all. But you're going to make a doomsday when you get into needing to create 3 million, 4 wide on the assets, the tolerable assets of your choice. You're going to get there. I'm going to tell you, you'll find your way there. You'll find your way, guys, where you don't feel like you're where this turns into a bit more of a nightmare than what you want if you forget what got you there. So I'm going to just encourage you. It's not a doomsday, but this doomsday scenario here, the 500's going into, guys, it's gonna make sense to you, to the trader. The market just, you're hot at the table. You're hot at the table. It's your table. Casino, pit boss, everybody, hey, draw some attention. That's nice. You go ahead and load up on the table. No problem, says a pit boss, says a casino. Hey, might as well go a little heavier, right? You've got it all down now. Work on your precision. Maintain your stop losses tightly. Don't give away what you just got. Just don't give away what you just got. So I wanted to, guys, cover that with you. And just, guys, hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going really well. As we talk about equities, you see the notion that we're able to pull in some of those just nice open moves. Where's a big macro best looking move in town? I thought of this yesterday, honestly. What if you decided as part of your portfolio book, and I mean what you trade, I am only going to be involved in perfect patterns. What if you decided that? I mean, I want to look back. I want to see what the NASDAQ macro pattern looked like. And I really want to focus on the best patterns in the market. Can you find a better looking bull flag on a better ranked asset? Probably not. Probably not. But what about Matic? What about Shiba? What about Doge? Well, what about Solana? What about that? What about that? I don't care who you sit me down in front of. You're not going to beat that. You're just not from a technical perspective. Yeah, close. We say close, close, close. Tesla, we have to give the technicals themselves credit based upon backtesting. You have to give technical credit to Tesla. That first bull flag was nice. It wasn't quite as nice. We had some deviation here to the bottom side, had to switch the candle. See, the discussion starts. Once we start discussing and explaining the differences in the pattern and what makes it, not so much in this and that versus that and this. You see, what do you have a problem on NASDAQ? You can't find a problem on that pattern. You just can't. You cannot. It's perfect. What if it trades? What if it doesn't? What if you involved yourself in a perfect, seemingly perfect flag on a seemingly, as best you could find, guys. Everything's got a deficiency in it. Go ask your broker for what a perfect one is. Yeah, ask your broker what a perfect asset is. Go see what he says. In terms of this move to the upside downward sloping channel, where's our green zone? Bam, up and above, right? On Tesla. This was a great flag. Set history, literally set history here. True? Yes. What else set history? Well, literally, we set history on NVDA here. We did. Did you guys pay attention to that? We set the history on, in terms of up days, boom, 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 right? We did, didn't we? So that's to our credit, okay? It's not difficult to point out these technicals. It's not difficult to say, well, this is a nice move. That's a nice move. What my concern today is the following. I don't want you to project too far out into the future with a brand new equation based upon all new hopes and dreams and projections of how 500,000, or guys, make it 50K, or make it 5K, or make it $500, but are going to project now into, with a 5K is about to turn into 3 million, and you've got a time frame of maybe next month. The market makers never seen you coming. They never have seen you coming. They've never taken the 500K away and said, oh, how about we turned your 75K into 90K. Merry Christmas. Yeah, Merry Christmas. I'm telling you guys, happens all the time. Who doesn't it happen to? Doesn't happen to the guys who started off in and around. The guys, a lot of you are starting with this. I know that. I'm having a discussion for anyone who's built up really, really well this morning. You may have trades, $75,000 trades all over the place that have rocketed up into 500K every other week here, clearly. Apply it to a trade versus to a overall positional in the market, okay? But looking at this, just pay attention. The 75 got to the 500, boom. How? I'm just gonna tell you guys, Bitcoin did it, right? It did. And we had some other interesting things to look at, didn't we? We had some other really interesting things just to look at, just to bring over to our Bitcoin trades, right? So I'm re-encouraging you to focus on your money makers and in your strategy, focus on your strategies that have brought you to this level of success. And I want to see you do this again. And I don't care if it takes, guys, as long as it took here. I don't think it will. But if you will scope out, as long as it took you to do this here, and you'll learn what you didn't catch here and here, and what you failed to catch there and there, and what you didn't even catch there and there, and there, and you didn't catch there, God. But you still are going to count all that time, and really from here to here. I want to focus on how you're going to catch it here, how you're going to catch it here, and how from this point here, you're going to catch it. You're going to catch it to here, or you're going to catch it to here. That's my concern. That's my immediate concern, is that you're going to catch it to there, or you're going to catch it to there. I want another one of these repeat periodic movements to be in your trade book, because that's how this got to this. Okay? So I'm encouraging you to focus and at least apply some, guys, if you can mainframe into, just flip on that extra processor as you're looking at your trades and reset into, I'll tell you guys, reset into. Why are we talking about this? This was 90,000 instead of 500,000. I want to make the 500,000 instead of the 90K. Well, how exposed were you yesterday? Literally, How exposed were you in terms of your profits yesterday? You had a big meltdown at a major crypto firm that literally, guys, literally could have sent this thing into the dirt, literally into the preceding level of resistance here. You could add one of the worst days in crypto fact. You could, and I would bet you that there are some institutional levels of control right now. And what did I tell you guys a few days ago? What did I tell you? Yeah, something's up with Bitcoin. True or false? Go watch the tape. Something's going on with Bitcoin, right? Because we don't see this. We don't see this. She's acting kind of fishy. Remember? Guys, we just don't see this. We don't see this kind of, guys, we don't see this. So when I tell you guys that there's something technically going on with Bitcoin, something's not making sense, we don't see this type of behavior on Bitcoin, and you've got a meltdown, all but a meltdown and a closure of the primary crypto exchange in the market. I'm having the discussion today because maybe you missed and dodged a bullet here. But when something doesn't look right, it doesn't look right. So to me, the fallout that we're just in a comfortable trading zone and Binance just did what Binance did, to me, if I were to guess into the situation, there are some heavy controls right now on the price of Bitcoin. Heavy controls right now in terms of the fallout of this situation. Heavy. You don't see this kind of stuff. You don't see the contraction, the expansion, the contraction, the expansion. It's programmed right now. So to the extent that we just dodged a big bullet or you dodged one, and that 90K is still, pay attention, still the 500. We're going to do it, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I'm just going to remind you, this lower level could get throttled. Absolutely throttled. And there could literally be a finger on a button somewhere, literally a finger on a button somewhere that did not let this just crash down to 31.7 and did not let it crash down to 29.170. Now, doomsdayer, naysayer, be me. What's the good feather in the cap here? What's the important part? 75 to 500. What's the level of success you've generated along the way? I want you to repeat it. I want you to repeat it. And I don't want you to get so caught up in the woods. Man, I can't see the forest through the trees, trees through the forest. I don't even know what planet I'm on. I've got interest in 400 and 400 or 40 positions right now. I'm trading the NASDAQ, I'm trading the S&P, I'm trading the Dow, I'm trading the, what? Guys, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with that? Bam, bam, bam. Nothing. I want you guys to focus on your highest probability trades. I want you to focus on maximizing your exposure in those trades, please, so that this stays this. Guys, this stays where it's at. And I'll tell you, with a compounding level of complication, and I'll refer you to New York Institute of Finance in terms of portfolio, or Harvard Business School in terms of portfolio management. Guys, there's tons of certifications, classes all over the place you can get into, but when you start managing a portfolio, levels of interest aside from just a trade, and your trades got you to a point where you're from 75K to 500K, and now you're expecting yourself to manage in through successfully a portfolio of trades, that's a different ball game. That's a different ball game. You guys agree or disagree? You can disagree. Point me to, I'd like you to point me to a resource if you do disagree. Because I'm just going to tell you, I don't want this to go away. Stay disciplined, stay focused, focus on that next trade up. Okay, the next big move for Bitcoin is what we want. We have downside targets, sure. Of course we do. Is the sky falling? It doesn't appear to be. Seems like there are some controls in place. Is fire and ice trading? Is fire and ice trading? Of course it's trading. Daily, lower pro line pushed a bit. What are we on? 20 moving average on the daily. Anything change? Not really. Trying to recover on the 20 moving average as a level in play today, right? Focus on your, guys, your tactics. Focus on what got you here. And I just want this to be a specific re-encouragement in terms of, guys, the levels of success that you've had and what's going to get you through the end of the fourth quarter and into, guys, the first quarter of 2024. First quarter 2024. And we'll talk to you soon. It's been a pleasure to talk to all of you. This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader.